Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you all? I hope you are fine well. So now today we discuss the topic of metaphysical problems. The problem of permanent and change. Firstly we discuss the problem of mind and body problems, and the second one is permanent and change. The problem of permanence and change is one of the earliest in the history of philosophy. According to Thales, Heraclitus, and Parmenides, these are the pre-Socratic philosophers as well as Greek philosophers. They discussed earlier were impressed with the basic features of the world. First one is that natural change, and the second is the continuity of certain apparently permanent conditions. Just like what is a natural changes, climate, the sun to light, day to night, day to evening, season changes. The idealist claims that all exists is mind stuff, that experience or simple mind themselves. Idealism show that picture in this. We just perceive the picture of tree and picture in my mind. So these are totally mind stuff and experience what is not. The idealist tries to explain physical matter as byproduct of mind. Just through mind understand the picture of physical matter. The materialist tries to explain mind as a product of matter, so as well as the materialist tries to find out the product of matter. How can we understand how we know the knowledge? They equally sought to metaphysical scheme and attempted to explain everything in terms of material events. These are idealism. Idealism like awareness, space and time, energy and matter, atom molecules, chemistry, botany, mind. These are all based on idealism. Materialism is on ontological position. Ontological is like a human being and is inquiry as a individual person, a universe, nature. That it asks the question, what is there like? What is this? How is it? Materialism answers that matter, physical objects, physical existence, matter, form, being. But what of mind, soul, spirit? How about that what is mind, soul? Because these are immaterial things and consciousness. How can we find this without physical object? Is that possible? These are questions materialists have no compelling for answer. Thomas Hobbes is said to be one of the first modern writers to explicitly endorse the position in metaphysics known as materialism. They are the first modern philosopher write to that materialism is like a metaphysics position, because we cannot understand through mind the picture of truth, the picture of physical objects. So the last problem is that dualism. Dualism is a position that was posited in modern era by Rene Descartes. Rene Descartes is a dualist philosopher and a modern philosopher. Dualism believe in dualism, mind and body, because they are not separated. It work together. It is combination of idealism, materialism. A dualism is dual precisely because it quotes the existence of minds and bodies. That is dualism, or that mind exists and matter or physical objects also exist, because mind properties explore the mental properties and physical object is a physical properties. So these are things are composed to one part of body, one part of mind. But problem is that mind is immaterial. Okay, so how can we find in space and time? We cannot explicit, or we cannot describe the in physical object, your physical nature. The problem now becomes to explain the relation between the two. In this picture, René Descartes shows the concept of mind and body work all together, but mental property is separate from the physical properties. They also try is independent, but is a neutral. They perceive the picture of object, picture generate in my mind, yes, structure in my mind. So my body moving, yes, this is tree, this is flower, so these are working together. And the second picture is show one similar two sides. These are dualism. Determinism, controlled by internal or external behavior factors acting on the individual, is based on a cause and effect relationship. Just like a history is the events of the history is the cause and effect is the present. rules, laws, and regulations is based on depend on a cause and effect. The problem of free will deals with primarily with the human element in the universe. So we are determined all actions or all nature because we are depend on it. In our experience of our own behavior and our own decisions, we find two opposite features. The first of is our awareness of our freedom, of our own ability to decide for ourselves, to deliberate about what to do in various situations, and to come to our conclusion about what to believe and what to do. I believe that I make a decision, my own choices. So is that conclusion. So my responsibility is that what is what I do and what I believe. So, on the other hand, the second element is that we discovered that in many cases, what we believed at the time made to be free decision and being influenced by various personal and social factors, so that we did not actually decide the question freely. We cannot find out the concept of freely because we are determined, we are bound, we are not free. We are just free in our own mind. We are just our in our own thoughts. Just so the philosophical problem is not fixed, and the free will and determinism are human actions free or are the determined some causes or even beyond man's control. So these are all actions controlled through all mental, social, political, economical. These are actions are moral principles control through making decisions. So these are impact on our society, what we believe and what I do. So there are the basically big problems of what is free will, what is free, are you free or not, how can find out the free, my own decision, just point out that this is free. Just the second step is the process. What can you do in your own actions, your results, so you are determined. Third problem is that materialism and idealism. These theories are opposites and are usually found in competition with each other. Materialism and idealism, they are denied to each other. They are opposite, totally opposite, because materialism describes a physical object, a physical nature, things, material, matter, solid form, but idealism is like a thoughts, ideas, emotion, feelings, guilt, thinking. So this materialism is said that idealism is like illusion, but idealism is said that materialism is just a unreal picture of reality. So materialism, on the other hand, is a view that only matter and its physical properties are real because we can easily perceive it through sensory experience, while mind, thought, and the like are simply manifestations of matter. Idealism is a complete denial of materialism. Materialism is primary, spirit or mind is secondary. Yes, idealism, spirit or mind is primary, matter is secondary. Because without mind, we cannot understand the picture of object. So this picture shows the natural science changes, natural properties changes. So this picture shows that as a is a change, not a permanent. Because if we accept that yes, seed is a permanent, so time to time changes, time to time evolution, flower, seed change to the color, texture, size, and different design. So this is the problem of permanent. And the second problem is free will and determinism. The problem of free will dates back to the philosophy of the Stoics. But why are so we concerned with being free? What is free? You are free or not? These are philosophical questions, metaphysical problems, because responsibility is extremely important to our society structure. If we are free, so we have no responsibility to anything. So how can we communicate to other peoples, how we can control the society structure conditions, any bad situation, how we control it. If we are free, we can just like that selfish person, there are no need to anything, just they love it our own every method and every decision and choices where so do we make choice? If we have a choice, what if we are not? The consequences of denying free will are catastrophic. Maybe we did not choose to go to the university, maybe we did not choose what clothes to wear this morning or what topic of our assignment was, yet it's possible. How can we free if these things and these principles and these thoughts are not give the choices? So what then do? Of course, we do not choose something. It's our permanent, it's our determined. Whether the sun will rise, whether our heart will beat, though we seem to have control over how fast, and those things we are not responsible. So if we have a heartbeat is fast, so how we control it is we have a non-responsible. The concept of free will is closely linked to the understanding of the sin and judgment. Concept of guilt. These are just free will. We can judge it easily, we can sign, and we can guilt. But we have no choice to take decisions. If one time to take decision is a free will, but second step is not a free will. Free will is closely linked with action and more responsibility. If you take a respon you take any decision, right decision. So these are truly bad impact on society. The moral principle, you are so more responsible. On the one hand, free will hold that humans have freedom and free will, if any, only if their lives contain moments of genuine choice. Behavior is governed by our own choices. So determinism is a theory that every fate of event in the universe is determined or caused by previous facts or events. Determinism is related with the cause and effect relationship, like in history is a cause and effect is a present. Human behavior and the events of history follow strict laws of causation, necessity, connection. Thus, the problem of free will deals primarily with the human elements in the universe. Dualism is closely linked with experience, realities, both mind and body, because we cannot separate from without mind we cannot know the knowledge, without physical object we know the truth. How can we use the five senses without physical object or without mind? How can we know the truth? How can we understand, deeply interpret, knowing, thinking, ideas generate without mind? Is that possible or not? So this is a big problem in metaphysics issue raised this question, dualism. And why is metaphysics important? The last one is a conclusion that the foundation of philosophy. In fact, metaphysics is regarded as the first philosophy. Without explanation or interpretation of the world around us, we would be helpless to deal with reality. Yes, it's true that without interpretation or understanding, we cannot know the truth. We cannot know the realities. We cannot deal the nature of truth, nature of reality, nature of universe, nature of human being, behavior, animals, zoology, botany, history. So we cannot deal with it. Otherwise, we can we are zero. The degree to which our metaphysical worldview is correct is the degree to which we are able to comprehend the world, and accordingly become suspect. Any flaws in our view of reality will make it more difficult to live. This metaphor is quite important in the life of rational human being. But many philosophers deny the concept of metaphysics because they say that this is an illusion because we cannot find the solution. These are raises the problem, dualism, appearance, reality, changes, etc. So this is our closely linked with the human nature, human behavior, with the universe. So final out is that metaphysics is a vast area, but every philosopher, every people think our own individually and think is different to another person, but we just try out to find out the solution of metaphysics.